Good morning. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining me for Monday Motivations for Business Owners and Entrepreneurs. We're going to give it just a few seconds. I see people are a little slow joining in on this morning, but we're going to wait for them. I'm going to give it just a few more seconds, but I thank you so much for joining me on this morning. Good morning, Kamalita. Good morning, Tanya. How are you on this morning? I'm going to go ahead and get started. If you can just take just a moment and just share this video, just tag somebody in it, I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. On this morning, if you can just take just for a moment and drop in the comments, I'm too oily for this. If you can drop that in the comments, I am too oily for this. Amen. Amen. On this morning, in my morning devotion, I was taking some time just to reflect over myself and over my business, over everything that I'm going forth to do. Thank you, Teresa. Thank you, Kamalita. I was just kind of going over some things. And sometimes that we have to give ourselves a reminder. We have to remind ourselves of who we are and who God has called us forth to be. Sometimes we get so frustrated when things don't happen the way that we desire for it to happen, or we're not able to move forward in the thing that we thought that we should possess right now. We're looking and saying that by the time I got in my 20s, my 30s, my 40s, that I should have been here by now. And we start looking at our lives and we start saying that, that sometimes we get frustrated and we sometimes can allow our frustration to overwhelm us. On yesterday morning, I preached about Elijah. Elijah was in a place that he was on a mountaintop in the 18th chapter of 1 Kings, and on the 19th chapter, Elijah found himself in a cave. And we can often find ourselves in the same place, that God could have us so high. Just on last week, we can be in a great and awesome place the month before, and then we find ourselves just a chapter over, and we found ourselves being frustrated. We find ourselves being complaining because we're not where we desire to be, and we can sometimes find ourselves in a pit or in a cave because things are not moving and not going forth like we think that it should. But on this morning, God reminded me on this morning that you're too oily for this. You're too oily to be in the place that you're in. Everything serves for a purpose. Everything serves for a season. Everything serves for something. And you have to keep reminding yourself that I'm too oily to stay in the place that I'm in. That a messenger was sent to Elijah as he found himself in a cave. And the messenger told him to get up and eat. So I want y'all to say in the comments, you got to get up from here. That he had to get up from the place that he was in. He said, because the journey ahead of you is too great. In other words, you still got work to do. You still got something to do forward before you. And you can't stay in the place that you're in. I need for you to eat. I need for you to remind yourself that I'm too great to be stuck in a cave. Where God has called me forth to be, I'm too oily to be here. I'm too anointed to be here. I'm my own billboard. And if nobody else support me, I got to learn how to encourage my own self and pat my own self on the back and remind me of where God has brought me from, and that my journey ahead of me is too great. It's too great ahead. So I want to say to somebody on this morning that have lost your way in your business, that I know that we are in the middle of a pandemic. Business is up and down. I know that you might be frustrated in your ministry. I know that you might be frustrated in your finances. I know. I'm not talking to you from a place of thinking that I've arrived. No, I'm not. I'm talking to you to a place that I'm still evolving every day to walk in the person that God has called and anointed for me to be. And so I want to tell you on this morning, get up. You still have work to do. You too oily for this. You too oily to find yourself being stuck in a place of depression. You too oily for this. You too oily. They close yourself up in a cave. You too oily for this. There's greater. There's greater ahead of you. And what's ahead of you is a whole lot. It's a whole lot better than what's behind you. I pray that this word has been a blessing to you. Hold up your head. Be encouraged. It all going to work out for our good. All things work out for the good of them that love God and are called according to his purpose. So I want y'all to declare with me on today. I declare and I decree that I'm too oily for this. I'm my own billboard, and I'm going forward to be the best that I can be. I pray that this has been an awesome motivational Monday word to you, and that you share this video and you tag somebody in it and let them know you too oily for this. Have an awesome Monday. I see you tomorrow for Quick Word Tuesday at 10:30.